Well, hello there, Lesley Ann, Dr. Lesley Ann. Welcome to the Nutra Narratives podcast. I am so excited to have you here with me today.
Thank you, Gigi. I'm happy to be here as well.
Ah,
Excited to share my story.
yes, I haven't heard it, so this will be really exciting for me to hear it from the very beginning from you.
Okay.
And let's start from how did you even get interested in nutrition in the first place? And please tell us where you are from.
Okay. I am from Trinidad and Tobago, and one of the main reasons I got into nutrition is because I have a blood disorder. So I have spherocytosis, and initially I had to get a lot of blood transfusions because my hemoglobin was always low,
Oh,
and they wanted my parents to give me a lot of liver because that's high in iron.
ah,
But we didn't eat like beef and those kind of things. We didn't really eat meat that much. So she did buy the liver for me, and I was like, I do not think I could eat this. So I was always looking for different foods that was high in iron, and my family also likes to cook a lot. So when I was in high school, I did food and nutrition as one of the subjects, and I really liked it. And my teacher told me about um, nutrition and dietetics as a profession. So
ah,
that's one of the ways that I got interested in that, because I always wanted to find um, ways to eat healthy, to always just be, um, not have that to go for like blood transfusions, that kind of thing. So that's one of the things that made me or pushed me into the area of nutrition.
very good. Can I ask, have you been able to not have to get blood transfusions anymore?
Uh, yeah. So when I was 18, they decided to take out my spleen and my gallbladder. So
God.
they took out the spleen because that's what was destroying the red blood cells at a fast rate. And since then, I haven't had to have any blood transfusions.
Mm,
So it's
praise
been good
God.
since then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just supposed to be on folic acid for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
And oh, wow. Okay. I've learned something new today.
yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good. So then after, okay, getting the spleen out, then you were off to college, spleen, the gallbladder. Was that the next step for you?
Well, yeah, it was around the time that I was doing my advanced level classes that would take me into prepare me for college or university.
Got it.
And my mom was looking for schools that had nutrition and dietetics. And we didn't realize that it was right in Trinidad. They had one, but
Ooh.
they didn't have it as the name of nutrition and dietetics. They had it as human ecology. But
Oh,
the
human
major was
ecology?
that was the name of the program, and
Interesting.
the major was nutrition and dietetics. So
Oh.
that's where I did my first degree, nutrition and dietetics.
Uh-huh.
And I was privileged that my dad worked in an oil company, Petrotrin, and during the summer vacation, they would hire university students to just like to have summer jobs. And luckily, the oil company had their own hospital.
Oh, perfect.
So they had a dietitian. So they always assigned me to work with the dietitian. So I was able to not only I was able to like practice like whatever we were taught in school, I was able to see it actually happening
Mm,
in the hospital itself, because it
nice.
was just one dietitian, and she was in charge of the administration, the food service, and also the clinical.
Oh, she wore all the hats.
Yeah, it was a small hospital. It was like 100 beds, but maybe they had probably 20 or 30 patients at one time for the most. It
Yeah.
was really small. Yeah. So I got to see like the HR aspect, the budgeting aspect, see how she would schedule the staff, and then even look at her when she counseled the
Oh,
patients in the hospital. So it was a nice experience for me. And
yes.
I think that really helped me cement what I wanted to be,
Mm.
and even helped me to do well in my studies.
Yes, that was a blessing to have that extra
Hmm.
experience there.
It was definitely.
Very nice. It's good to know that when you're going through that experience, you were thinking, mm-hmm, this is exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. So then you finished your undergraduate degree over
Yes.
there.
So I finished it there, and then we had a 1 year internship program if you wanted to go on and be a dietitian.
Oh,
So we had like, it was like a full year of food service, clinical, and community rotations. So I did that as well.
great.
And then, of course, back then it didn't have as many jobs as dietitians. So it took a while for me to get a job. Yeah.
Okay.
So most hospitals had like probably just 2 or 3 dietitians in the big hospitals.
Hmm.
But
I see.
yeah, it was it was kind of tough. Yeah.
So
But
how,
luckily,
yes, but
like
luckily.
like I was home, yes, but then at times when the dietitian at the hospital in the oil company, when she would go on vacation, they would call me in to cover for her. So that was
Perfect.
like a little, yeah. So good experience for the time being while I waited to get a job.
Yes. So yeah, I was going to ask that. So what were you doing while you were waiting? And so that you answered my question.
Yeah.
And how long was that waiting period until you got your
I
own job?
I think it was close to a year.
Yeah, wow, that was a long time to wait.
It was a year. But I think in between I had like a few opportunities in like other hospitals. Like if somebody went on maternity leave,
Mhm.
I would just be like the relief dietitian for those periods. But it was never like for a long stint of time. It was just like short periods.
Yeah.
But I really still appreciated
Yeah.
just being out of the house and being able to just being able to work. Yeah.
Wonderful. So then, what was your first official full-time job? Where was that?
Okay. My first official job was actually a community dietitian.
Mhm.
And it was not an easy job because I had to work between 9 counties.
Oh,
Or it, we wouldn't say counties, we would say probably like, they weren't cities, but they were like towns. But it was 9 towns, and then one was like very, very far away from the rest of them.
oh my goodness. That was a lot of driving then.
Yeah, it was a lot of driving. I did not have a car. So I had to travel a lot. And then it wasn't just, so like each town, they had their own little health center where
Oh,
they did like primary health care. So I had to do like lectures and um, just deal with patients and stuff.
yeah.
And the nurses in charge of the health centers, they were also in charge of the schools.
Oh my.
So I had a lot of school nutrition to do as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it was nice. It was like a really good learning experience for me. And I think that was one of the reasons why I decided to further my education, because I was doing a lot of program planning
Perfect.
and education. So I decided to just like start reading more and stuff. And then I was looking for a university that would do like health education, health promotion because of that particular job I was in. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Now, how many years or how long were you there doing that job?
I think I just spent a year
Mhm.
there
Okay.
because the oil company, they started a wellness worksite program
Oh, I see.
and they wanted a wellness dietitian.
Got it.
So they offered me the position and it was similar because they had like 6 different locations for their offices. So I had to go to like all 6 locations and do programs there. So they had, it was like a private company, but they had their own health centers for their staff. They had, the workforce was like about 5,000 people.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of people
So
to be educating.
yeah, it was a lot. So I had that to do. And then I also had the main hospital, they also had like outpatients coming in.
Okay.
Yeah. So initially it was slow
Yeah.
because not all the doctors knew there was a dietitian to send their outpatients to.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was slow at first, but that gave me some time to develop like handouts and do like promotions. And we did a lot of health screening.
Ah, excellent.
So I would go out with the wellness nurse whenever she went to do her health screening. And if there were persons with like high blood pressure or diabetes or high cholesterol, I would do nutrition education with them
Oh,
right there on the spot.
that was perfect. That was like
Yeah.
really nice teamwork.
It was. Yeah.
So
So
then how long were you there at the wellness center?
so I was there for, I would say, 6 years.
Oh, that was a good long time.
Yeah. So I was there for 6 years. Was it 6 years? Yeah, about 6 going on 7 years.
Time flies when you're having a good time. So you
Yeah.
must have enjoyed that job.
I did enjoy it. It was really fun. And then like every year they would have a health week. So they would have like all the employees would come to this health week, and then every year we'd have to do something different. So one year I did like healthy snacks, so we made healthy snacks for them. One year it was focused on like the chemicals, so we did like how to juice different vegetables and fruits. Just make it creative for the employees, and I think they really enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
So that's something that I enjoyed pretty much.
Well, Lesley Ann, were you thinking that this is your dream job? Was it like what you had hoped for once you became a dietitian, or you were looking for more in addition to what you were doing?
I think I was happy in that job. I really was, because during that time I did my master's in health education and health promotion. So like
Oh,
some of my assignments, it would be like projects that I was going to work on, or things that I wanted, programs I wanted to plan for the employees. So I really was happy there.
nice. And
But
oh, there's a but. Oh, we got to
yeah,
hear about the but. Bring on the
yeah.
but. Oh, Lesley
But
Ann.
the dietitian, she retired.
Okay.
So they want, and that the job that I had, it was a contract job. It wasn't like a permanent job. So every year they'll renew my contract.
Oh,
So you didn't have like as many benefits or a retirement plan or anything like that. So that was the only thing that wasn't perfect about the job, you
that would
know?
be a big but for me too.
Yeah. Yeah. But she retired.
Okay.
So I interviewed for her position, which was a permanent position with the benefits and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, good for
So
you.
I got that job, but that job is a very stressful job
Yeah, I could imagine.
because you're dealing with a lot of human resource.
Mm.
You're dealing with staff, and being an oil company, they were heavily unionized.
Oh, I see. God.
So, like little things, they would call the union, or if they didn't want to work, they would strike.
Mm.
And it was changing my personality a lot.
Okay.
I was becoming like, I was like a very, what's the word? I'm a very nice, gentle, giving person, and I was just becoming, like people would take advantage of my goodness.
Oh,
You
no.
would think that they have a genuine problem, but they were just trying to manipulate.
Yeah. Take advantage.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I had to change somewhat, become a bit tough. Even though you really want to help somebody, you're just not sure. You don't trust enough anymore, kind of way.
Of course.
So that was one of the things I didn't like too much.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like that.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Not right when you're not being treated well. I don't blame
Mhm.
you at all.
Yeah. Now there was some of the staff who you could work with, but they had their own internal differences among themselves, and that was impacting on the department.
Mm.
And I was like, this is not worth it.
Right. Right.
This is not worth it,
No.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
It sounds like it was a toxic environment.
it was a toxic environment, and they were like stealing a lot, and then
Ooh.
the union will come and get them off so they wouldn't get fired. So there was like no repercussions for what they were doing, so they would just continue doing it.
Yeah.
And luckily I had management to back me up. So they
Good.
would try different things, but the chief medical officer, he was always there. Like if I made a decision, he would stand behind me. So
Mhm.
those were things that I really liked about working there.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, there's always a silver
yeah.
lining there. I mean, there's
Mhm.
always something good in every job
Yeah.
that you
hmm
do. But
Yeah. So
okay.
but I saw the writing on the wall. I saw that the company was going into the decline.
Mm,
Um, there was a lot of mismanagement of funds. The company was operating at a loss
mm.
because the employees were paid high. We were paid like, highly paid, but production was very low.
Okay.
And then the staff, because of their previous work culture, they were allowed to um, they would cook food and cook enough that they could carry home for their families.
Ooh. Oh my.
So when I came, that was like no longer a thing. You couldn't do that.
Good for you.
So if I put out how much chickens, that's how much you could cook. So they realized that there wasn't enough for them to take home for their families and stuff. So that was something that was,
You
you
were
know,
just being a good leader, a good
yeah,
manager in that position.
good manager from what we would call, but not to them,
Yeah.
because they were accustomed doing whatever they wanted, and I just had to put my foot down because we,
Excellent.
the dietary department, was operating at a loss.
Oh, well,
So,
see,
you
yeah.
know, the
Mm.
hospital was operating at a loss as well.
Hmm.
And we knew that this is an oil company. If something goes wrong, the first place they're going to close down is the hospital.
Oh, guy, don't want
You
that.
know, so
Yeah.
I, my husband wanted to um, go into marriage and family therapy.
Okay.
And he started to look at different places where he could do it. It didn't have any place in Trinidad. And we
Uh-huh.
decided that we would probably just take a leap of faith
Wow.
and go. Because I mean, I really didn't want to stay there any longer.
Yes, yes. It was working
So
out.
I needed to find a way out.
Hmm.
You know, I needed to find a way out. So we applied for like scholarships and stuff like that. And between the both of us, we got one scholarship, like one full scholarship.
Oh, really?
And we decided that we would just take it and we would make the most out of it. So we did that.
Uh-huh. Okay. So
Yeah.
when you decided, okay, we're going to take this scholarship, run with it, then you also decided where to go for the education.
Okay. Well, I did my master's at Loma Linda University, but I did it online.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah.
that. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I did my master's at Loma Linda. So when he came for my graduation, we came up for my graduation and he just fell in love with Loma Linda. He loved their marriage and family program. So
Oh,
he wanted to come back to Loma Linda.
oh, awesome. That's how that turned out.
Yeah. So, and then I saw that Loma Linda had a doctorate in nutrition, and I wanted to get back into nutrition as well.
Yeah.
Well, I should mention that one of the things that I really liked about working at the hospital is that the university sends students. So I was actually a preceptor.
Oh, you were already a preceptor back
Yeah.
then. Look at that.
So the students really enjoyed their time coming, and I realized that that was the only part of the job I enjoyed. So
Okay.
like once the students were there, I would be there with them. We would go on the ward and do rounds, that kind of thing. I enjoyed that part of them, and I realized that maybe I should go into teaching.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
yeah. So I
Very,
decided that I would go back to my original plan or my original passion, which was nutrition.
yes.
And I decided I'll do my doctorate in public health nutrition.
Perfect. So that's how that decision was
Yeah,
made.
so that's how it was made, actually.
Okay. Wow. So, but your master's was fully online, and
Yeah, fully online.
that was the Loma Linda program.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Did you have some of the same teachers from doing your online master's and then when you did your doctorate?
No,
Okay, completely different set of teachers.
completely different. Yeah, because that was health education and nutrition is something completely different. But I
Ah,
did get exempted from all the public health classes.
oh,
So I didn't have to do those over. So I could have just focused on all the nutrition classes and then just do like new electives, that kind of thing.
ah,
So
great, great. Okay, so when did you get your RD?
which one?
Your actual credential for
In
oh,
for the
you had to take
US?
it. Oh yeah, for the US, did you have to take it again?
Yeah, I did. I did it again.
Oh, that's why you're like, I have two of them. Oh,
Yeah. So and I wanted to do it over because I decided, hey, I need a refresher. I need to be more updated. So I absolutely didn't mind doing it over in the US. It was something I didn't see it as, oh, I know this already. I was like, I could learn from this. There's new things
wow.
happening, every day in nutrition, so I could learn something new.
I
So
love your
I embrace
attitude.
that opportunity.
So, what was the difference between, or was there a difference between the two registration exams, the one that you took at your country versus the one in the US? Were there differences or is it the
In
same?
Trinidad, we didn't have to do an exam
Oh, got it.
because that was the only university that offered the program. And once you did their university exams, that was it. We
Mm,
didn't have a registration body or anything like that.
I see.
It was like probably 2 years after they came up with the Nutrition and Dietetics Board, and it was part of all the allied all the allied health professions.
Ah, very good.
So we
I
had a board, and then we started to register dietitians, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, phlebotomists.
mhm.
Yeah. So
Impressive how things
yeah.
really became so amazing in Trinidad for those professions.
Mm-hmm. Because
Wow.
we back then you had a lot of people who were claiming to be dietitians. They
Mm,
weren't
mm.
credentialed. They didn't have any nutrition degree or anything. So we decided that we needed to do that, and I was the secretary of the board for a number of years. I think I resigned like just before I left to come to the
Wow.
US. Yeah, so it was a nice experience,
Yes.
being a part of that, working on the code of ethics for the profession in Trinidad,
Oh,
and planning like different education learning experiences for dietitians. So that's something that I enjoyed doing while I was there.
yes. That's a wonderful experience that not a lot of dietitians have.
Yeah.
Not a lot of faculty have. So that was very valuable.
Yeah.
Good. So then tell us about your experience with your doctorate then at Loma Linda.
Okay. So in terms of getting the degree or afterwards?
Both. Your
Okay.
experience as a student, what was it like getting the doctorate or, good good memories, difficult memories.
I think it's all about perspective and how people look at things. So I am not a negative person. So things that people might may complain about, I just don't see it as an issue.
Yeah.
So I think that all the courses that I did at Loma Linda, um, nutrition and metabolism, the phytochemicals, the MNT classes, the nutrition counseling classes, nutrition assessment classes. Even though I knew some things, I learned a lot, especially from the nutrition and metabolism and the phytochemicals. I
Mm,
learned a lot, and I really enjoyed my experience at Loma Linda. I loved the just the chapel on Wednesdays. I
mm.
just loved the fellowship, the different groups that they had that you could join, just the church experiences. They were different,
Oh.
but I did quite different from Trinidad.
Oh.
But I mean, I adjusted,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed them eventually. So
Did you get
I
to go to
really,
chapel with your husband?
oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Nice.
So it was nice for both of us because we were able to go to school together. Well, not in the same classes per se, but there was chapel when we'd meet,
Oh,
and then every night we'd go and study in the library until like 12 o'clock. I always had somebody to walk home with me,
perfect.
So it was never like anybody pressuring each other because we were both going to school.
Yeah.
So that experience was good for both of us, even though he finished before me.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a nice experience for both of us to grow together.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you had a child somewhere.
Yes, I did.
Were you still a student when you had?
I was still a student. Yeah. So I was pregnant I was doing the last 3 classes,
Okay.
and I found out I was pregnant. I had to do my comprehensive exam
No, pregnant.
while I was pregnant, and it was the first trimester, and I was sleeping a lot.
Wow.
So I went and I said, listen, I cannot do this exam. And Dr. Rajram was like, you can do it.
Yeah.
We could make arrangements that you could do it. And they were really great in facilitating that.
Good.
The
Good.
classes I was good. I
Yeah.
was good for the entire pregnancy.
Thank God.
It was nothing short of a miracle. I keep saying it, pregnancy is nothing short of a miracle. The
Wow.
entire experience, because with my blood disorder, they were like, oh, this is high risk,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
they were fearful for my baby,
Okay.
but they thought I would like go have her early, like preterm, but she was actually born on her due date.
Oh, praise God. Oh my goodness. Look at
So
that.
she was born on her due date.
Amazing.
No
Amazing.
problems, no issues, and now she's 2.5.
Already. Oh my
Already,
goodness.
she's 2.5.
I would
Yeah,
love to see her one of these days.
yeah.
Oh, that is
So
great.
she has been a blessing to both of us. Um, Even while I was writing my dissertation, that's when I had just had her.
Oh
So
my.
my mom was here, and then his mother came. So they were always there with us for that first year.
Very
So I
good.
could go in the library, write, stay 2 hours, come back, breastfeed her, go again. So it
Super
was
mom.
nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
So
nice to have your mom's help, your mother-in-law's help. Oh, what a
yeah,
blessing there.
it was a blessing to have them. Yeah.
Very nice. And then you started working too at the medical center at Loma Linda.
Yeah.
When did you start working there?
I started when she turned 1 on her birthday.
Oh, no way. Are you serious? Okay.
Yeah, I started my first day of work was on her birthday. I think I just wanted to get some US experience.
Yes,
I
of
had
course.
worked in Trinidad, and I wanted to see if it was different, any different from how we did it in Trinidad.
Mhm.
And it is quite different. In
What?
that in Trinidad we focus more on counseling patients.
Oh,
So we spend like just 20 minutes getting the assessment from the patients, and we spend like about 45 minutes with the patient talking with them.
wow, that's
So
really
it's
different.
different. It was different. Even in the internship, the focus was mainly on how do you counsel a patient? How do you simply explain to a patient what is diabetes?
Yeah.
Um, what are the tips or guidelines to give them for renal disease, for heart disease? That was the focus in terms of the counseling
Mm-hmm.
in Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah, we focus a lot more on counseling than anything
Very
else.
good. Very good. Wow, you and I haven't really just sat down to talk. I'm like, the wheels are rolling like, oh, well, maybe I can have you come in for a medical nutrition therapy 1 and see what you can contribute to the class with your vast experience. I'm going to keep that in mind.
Okay. No
Yes.
problem.
This is
Yeah.
exciting. I just love all the experience that you come to us with.
Yeah.
So wonderful. So how long were you working at the medical center? How long did you work there?
It was probably a year and maybe a year and 8 months.
Okay. So you were even working there even before finishing up your doctorate.
Yeah, I was.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
I
And
know.
amazing. Girl, you amaze me. Amaze me. And then when did you defend your dissertation?
I defended my dissertation during COVID, and honestly, I felt as though God stopped the entire world for me to finish. I
Really?
honestly felt that way because I
Really?
had like a lot of conferences to go to. I had like one in March, I had one in March, and then one in April, and then one in June. And I had to finish write my last two chapters and defend before June. So when all this happened and all the conferences got cancelled, I was like, this is happening for a reason. And then work slowed down at the medical center. So I was like home for like I was only working like probably 1 day for the week. So I just sat home and I was writing. I wrote and I
Wow.
wrote and I wrote, and I was able to defend from home.
Amen. Oh,
Yeah.
praise
So
God. Praise.
I was happy for that part though.
Yes, 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 yes. Very good. But
Yeah.
it seemed like it turned out for your in your favor to not go to these conferences so you can focus on
Yeah, because I was making plans in my head. Okay, when I'm in the airport, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that while I'm waiting to go on the flight.
wow.
But God allowed it to happen this way, that
Yes.
I would just focus completely on this.
Yeah.
And this year there were so many plans I had, and I have seen how God has just shifted and changed everything.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point now where I'm just like, Lord, whatever you have next, I want to be ready. I am just willing. So
Wow. Wow, that is just amazing. I'm so in awe because then we were interviewing for the clinical coordinator position, and we had already interviewed, I think, I don't know, was it four or five? And we thought we were done with our interviews, but we had heard that you were interested in the clinical coordinator position. And then it's like, but I don't think your paperwork came in or what have
yeah,
you. And then all of a sudden, after our last interview, we were told, oh, we have one more interview. And okay, all right, let's do this. And God also worked that out.
yeah, because I honestly didn't know that the position existed. Um, my husband had just started a new job, and I was like, Lord, what about me? I don't want to
Lord,
continue.
hello, right here.
What about me? I don't. I mean, yes, I like dietetics, but I wanted something different. I wanted a new experience,
Of course.
and
I
I
hear
was
you.
applying to like other schools to do like teach online, that kind of thing. And then I think one of the dietitians mentioned it to me in the hospital, and she was like laughing about it. She's like, "Oh, you want to apply?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to apply." So I did. I did apply, and it was just God's favor.
God, God led you to us. And
Definitely.
we are so blessed to have you. I'm so proud to call you my colleague and to have you be as like, oh, a teammate on the nutrition and dietetics faculty for our
Yeah.
students.
It's definitely a learning experience. I'm still learning,
Yeah.
but I enjoy it so far, what I've been able to accomplish. But I know there's a lot more that I need to learn.
You're
So I am up for the challenge.
Yeah, well, you know what? I know you've already made it amazing and you're going to make it even more amazing the work that you've done. Our students are so blessed to have you with your rich experience and what you're bringing to the table. Oh, I'm so excited, even more so to see what the future holds now that you're on board with
Yeah,
us.
definitely. I am looking to see what the future holds too, because I honestly have no idea. I just leave it up to God right now.
There you go. And that's the thing, when you leave things in God's hands, God fully directs and leads and guides.
hmm
And
And
s-
that's something about me. I like to be in control. I like to know what's going to happen next. And for this entire year, I have no idea what's going to happen next. And I'm at the point now where I'm comfortable with that, knowing that God is in control. So,
Oh,
yeah.
amen. It's so beautiful. So before we end, Lesley Ann, can you please share with us three nutritional practices that you do yourself on a regular basis?
Okay. One of the things we like to do is make sure that we have a lot of family time, especially when we're having meals,
Ah,
especially for my daughter.
perfect.
Even before she was born, we would always have like breakfast, maybe not lunch because we're in class or whatever, but definitely dinner together and breakfast together. So we still have that practice. We'll have breakfast together in the morning, even though it's early.
Yeah,
Um, and we'll have dinner when my husband gets home. So
beautiful.
we'll have dinner together as well. We
That's,
tend to have fruits first in the morning. So my daughter, when she gets up, she'll ask for a fruit.
oh,
So that's something that we do. And then I like to cook a lot of our traditional foods from Trinidad,
oh,
some
yum.
of which are not healthy. So I
Okay.
always try
Mhm.
to make, that's a challenge that I like. I like to make foods healthy. They should taste good, but also be healthy.
Of course.
So that's something that I always practice. You
Ah,
know, if I could air fry it or bake it instead, I'll do that. Or
nice.
just anything I could eliminate that is not healthy, I tend to do that a lot. So
Wow.
those are the three things that I work on.
Fabulous. Fabulous. And if we had someone that was like, how do we navigate life if the future seems uncertain? What kind of advice would you give that person when they don't know what's going to happen in their future lives, in their careers?
Okay. For me, I even though I liked nutrition, I had other options,
Mm,
but I wanted to choose something that I could use as my mission field as well.
excellent.
So I knew that going into nutrition, I would be able to meet different people. I could share with them the health message.
Yes,
I'm
amen.
not gonna say it's not about like converting anybody, but sharing the health message just to help them on their way to becoming a healthy version. So
Mm.
that's something that I liked doing, and also find ways that you could volunteer. So
Oh,
by volunteering, you tend to network and you also tend to learn new things. And then you begin to see what it is you really like, what you're really passionate about. So that's something that I did a lot of
mm,
as well. While I was in Trinidad, I volunteered with a lot of youth programs, caring with for people with HIV/AIDS,
okay.
just doing a lot of health fairs with the health director, having like youth at risk programs for at risk youths. So
Okay.
those are things that I really liked, those volunteering things, and they opened up a lot of doors for me to do things on a national scale.
Ah,
So yeah,
beautiful.
like a lot of television interviews, a lot of radio interviews.
Oh,
The government, they would call me to do some, they had some school nutrition programs, so they would call me. So I would have to leave my job for the day
okay.
and go to the schools to give a lecture on healthy eating or something like that. Because of once when I did volunteer to do it, they enjoyed it so much, they wanted me to come at the different other schools that they were doing it in. So I
Wow.
really enjoyed everything I
Yes.
did.
Oh, I love your story so much. I had no idea prior to this conversation, and it's so exciting and fun to hear all that you have done as a dietitian, even before coming to the United
hmm
States. So you truly bring a lot of valuable experience to us, and we're so grateful for all that you've gone through.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
your experience will be so helpful to our students. So thank you.
Yes, it's an experience that I love and I've learned a lot from.
Yeah.
So it has helped me to change perspective
Mhm.
in terms of how you see things. You don't just focus on the negative. There's so much more you could
Mm,
benefit from if you just see things, if the glass is half full,
right.
and not complain about things all the time, but you can make a difference.
Ah,
You can make a difference.
yes, indeed. Thank you for those words of inspiration and words of encouragement.
You're welcome.
Yes. So the students get to call you Dr. Nicholas, right? Or is it Dr. Foster Nicholas?
Actually, I just prefer Lesley Ann.
Oh, wow. Okay. All righty. Very
I've
good.
always said that I am Lesley Ann and I will always be Lesley Ann. So
Beautiful.
titles are not something that I big on.
Yeah.
But however, it's difficult for me to look at somebody who's like more experienced or older or who taught me and call them by their first name. It's really difficult, but I'm really trying to adjust.
I
I'm
know
really
it's
trying to
awkward.
adjust.
It's awkward, but you're good. You are in good company. So, but yes, though, but you deserve it with all your hard work, all the you know things that that students would respect you with. So
Yeah,
we appreciate
definitely.
you, and we're grateful to God that you are on board with us. So thank you
I
again.
am happy to be here too.
Thank you. And thank you for taking your time to share with me and our listeners your testimony, your story, and your narrative in which God has played a big part in it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.